Let's go. The San Francisco 49ers officially own the number one seed in the NFC. What a phenomenal time to be a San Francisco 49er fan. And oh boy, what a what a fantastic time to be a San Francisco 49er, man. Number one seed. Oh, baby. I know you guys. I know there were some people when the San Francisco 49ers went on that kind of 3-game losing streak into the bye. It was like, did we lose our chance at getting the one seed? And the answer is no. The San Francisco 49ers just got the number one seed for the first time ever. I got to give some love to the Dallas Cowboys for what they were able to do tonight against the Eagles. Hey, Nick Bosa said that the 49ers put the blueprint on tape against the Philadelphia Eagles. Did he not? He said, I hope they watch the tape. And look at what happened. Dallas Cowboys took it to the Eagles. So the question is, are the Eagles the real pretenders? I'm just going to throw it out there. I don't know. But as it stands right now, the San Francisco 49ers absolutely dominated the Eagles last week. The Cowboys come out here, put it on them. The 49ers are the best team in the league, and it's not even close. Feels great, man. Feels fantastic. The San Francisco 49ers are flying high, pun intended, as the Cowboys. Do us a favor and get us into the driver's seat of the number one seed. And again, you guys already know why this is so important, because this allows the San Francisco 49ers to be in the driver's seat and control their destiny moving forward throughout the playoffs. The biggest thing that we've discussed throughout the year was the San Francisco 49ers grabbing this one seed. The reason why we want this one seed is because we want the path to the Super Bowl to go through Santa Clara, meaning we want all home games throughout the playoffs, and we want a first round bye. So the San Francisco 49ers will be able to get a little bit of a bye week as they prepare for the divisional round. Now, there's still a ways to go. The San Francisco 49ers still have two teams in the Bird Gauntlet. They still got to take care of the Cardinals. They still have a really big test against the Ravens on Christmas. And then they finish out their season with a game against the Commanders and a game against the Rams. So there's still 4 games left. The 49ers, though, have every opportunity available to them to win out and get that home field advantage. That's ultimately what we want. We want first round bye. We want home field advantage. Those two things are so crucial to the San Francisco 49ers getting back to the Super Bowl. Not that they can't do it any other way, but that's what we want, right? Because think back to 2019 when the San Francisco 49ers went all the way. You guys remember that game, the NFC Championship game against the Packers? Raheem Mosterati, 4 touchdowns. I was at that game. I remember it. I want it. I want it again. And so this team right now, the San Francisco 49ers, the way they're set up to be, they have everything in front of them. This is the perfect place where they want to be, controlling your own destiny, right? You hear that a lot in the NFL, the ability to control your own destiny. The San Francisco 49ers didn't control it there for a while. Now, they had to be able, the first step was to take care of the teams in front of them out of the bye. And what have they done? They demolished the Jags, at the time one of the hottest teams in the AFC. They took care of Baker. They took care of business against Baker Mayfield and the Bucks. Then we already know on Thanksgiving, they had some turkey on Seattle's field, and then we cooked the Eagles, and then we cooked Seattle again. They are on a 5-game winning streak out of the bye. Can they make it 4? Can they make it 4 and finish out without a loss out of the bye and control their destiny? Meaning they walk in to the playoffs with the 1 seed. They can control their destiny from here on out. They don't have to rely on anyone. It's up to them. Shout out Dallas. Big shout out to Dallas, man. Dallas hooked us up. So we're good with Dallas right now. Until we see Dallas in the playoffs, we're good. We're good. I got too many screens. I got my phone in front of me. Got too much stuff. But we're good with Dallas. For right now. For right now. And then it's on site. Then it's back to our old ways. But now, for right now, shout out Cowboys. Okay. We see you, Dallas. We see you. Thank you. Thank you. But just for right now, that's it. After tonight, it's on site. We're having a little peace time between 49ers Cowboys fans. But yes, a temporary truce. But after tonight, it's back on. But for right now, shout out Dallas. Shout out the Cowboys. Who would have thought? Never in a million years would I have thought I'd be like, good job, Dallas. Oh, boy. Feels good, man. What a season. What a season it has been. And wow, we sit here ready to go in the 1 seed, and we have the ability to control and drive what we want. Oh, Aponte's trying to join. Aponte, I'm live on both. You have to jump into both somehow. I'm live on both. I'm on YouTube and Facebook too. I don't know if they'd be able to hear you. They'd be like, "Who are you talking to?" But anyways, big dub right now, man. The San Francisco 49ers. I'll send you the link. I'll send you the link on YouTube. Hold on, let me copy that bit. But whoo! We got the 1 seed. Feels great. Feels fantastic. How are we vibing in the chat? What are the vibes in the chat? Let me see what you guys are feeling. I'm dropping the link to Aponte on YouTube. So if you guys want to watch, if Aponte hops in, we'll be on YouTube. I'm streaming on YouTube right now. So about to get some spicy in here. I dropped the link. But boy, what a great time. Ryan Reed says, Brad, who would you comp Purdy to with how he's playing right now? Because I kind of see him like Burrow 2.0. Sneaky athletic, as I'm reading around my phone. Throws with touch and accuracy. Ooh. Brock is playing to me like he's a hybrid Drew Brees. Like, oh, I see Aponte. He's in here. Well, we got a Ponte in the wings. All right, guys. If you are on Instagram, I'm bringing a Ponte up, so we're going to get into a little back and forth. If you guys want to join and continue the conversation, head over to YouTube, the SF Niners. We're still live over there, but I'm going to bring up my guy, so I don't want some conflicting stuff. But shout out to you guys tapping in on IG. Like I said, head over to YouTube if you want to vibe with us. Let us know that you're coming from the Great Migration. But I appreciate you guys. I'm shutting it down on Instagram, but we're still going on YouTube. Later, IG. All right, enough IG. Let's get a Ponte. I see a Ponte in the wings. We got some spicy Ponte in the building.
Ooh. Brad, you know what? I'll be honest. I took a shot. I didn't really believe that you would, let me cook, because I've been less than humble. I'm nowhere near humble right now. Shout out to everybody that's in here. Shout out to Brad for letting me join. It's a beautiful time. We lit right now. I want to make sure that I stand on business, and I say this.
Stand on it.
One more time. The San Francisco 49ers are by themselves. I don't want to hear about the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't want to hear about the Dallas Cowboys. I don't want to hear about the New England Patriots that won every single game. I don't want to hear about the 85 Bears. I don't want to hear about the undefeated Dolphins. I want to hear about none of y'all. Because today, what the 49ers did, winning in a game that was super ugly in the way that they did, at certain times it was ugly, right? At certain times it just was ugly and it didn't look right.
You're talking about the 49ers Seattle game.
Of course. The 49ers winning a game
it wasn't
in which
the prettiest win, but it was a good win.
No, it's a perfect win because the San Francisco 49ers won in a way that doubters needed to see. Doubters needed to see the 49ers win a game that's out the mud. And a little bit of that game was. But what I'm really here to do, Brad Graham, and thank you. I know this is this is a family show, so I'm going to make sure that I keep it, clean.
We still want you spicy.
Is that what? No, but I want to keep it about the Philadelphia Eagles. Could it be my team to lose to the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas? Brad Graham, I'm going to ask you a question. Who was the last team to beat the Dallas Cowboys in their stadium? I'll sit here and I'll wait.
Is it really us?
The San Francisco 49ers with Jimmy Garoppolo are the last team to beat the Dallas Cowboys in their stadium.
In 2021?
In 2021.
No way.
So while we sit here and we stand on business, the Philadelphia Eagles haven't done something the 49ers did with a quarterback who had a broken thumb. And I also want to point out something else. Ain't no way that my team on no 2-game stretch could lose by the amount of points that the Philadelphia Eagles just lost by. Especially not to the Dallas Cowboys.
Jason Aponte, I have a hard-hitting question I want to ask you. Are the Eagles pretenders? Are they pretenders now? Are we ready?
You know what?
To have that conversation yet?
Brad, this is a private, a family show, right? And we don't like using the F word. That candle that you see right there, that's for the Philadelphia Eagles. PH sounds like F. The F word is perfect for the Philadelphia Eagles. And that F word stands for fraud. FRAUD, fraud. Ain't no way that you're going to tell me that Philadelphia Eagles team that added Kevin Byard, that brought back Zach Cunningham, that added Jalen Carter,
Darius Leonard?
Darius Leonard. Oh my God, Brad. Shaquille Leonard. Oh no. What is he gonna do? The Philadelphia Eagles are frauds. And you know what? This is gonna come off in the best way possible. You know who told us first about about Jalen Hurts and his quarterbacking ways?
Who?
Robbie Gold. Robbie Gold went on a podcast right before the Super Bowl and said, make Jalen Hurts be a quarterback.
Oh, I remember that.
Make Jalen Hurts. And so, you know what, Brad Graham? This is a little bit of a apology, possible peace offering, possible olive branch towards special teamers. But Robbie Gold knew ball. And Robbie Gold said, make Jalen Hurts be a quarterback and you'll be fine.
Wow.
I can't believe that we're here. And I'm so happy that we are. And I understand that at this point, it is what it is. But the Philadelphia Eagles absolutely do not deserve to be in any conversation of being the class of the NFC. And I said that right after the 49ers beat them. But you absolutely don't deserve it now. This was embarrassing. The only reason this game even got close was because Dak Prescott fumbled the football on Jalen Carter. You know that the Philadelphia Eagles didn't score an offensive touchdown tonight? Not one offensive touchdown tonight. Stephon Gilmore looks like Ty Dolla $ign. Doesn't mean that he is beatable. It's insane to me to think that the Philadelphia Eagles believe that after tonight, you believe your team is ready to go. I have been listening to I Want to Rock, Dreams and Nightmares. I've been having a blast, man. Like it's just fun to be 49ers fans. And you know what's funny is I can see why people would hate me talking shit. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. It's after hours. We're after hours. Right. The kids they're in bed by now. They're not watching.
I can see someone hating, oh, he talks too much ish. But you love it if I'm on your side. And I'm on your side. And right now, the San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers are the best in the world. I don't want to hear it. Kansas City Chiefs, you got your man Patrick Mahomes crying in press conferences after he lost to the Bills. I don't care about who's in the AFC. Who's in the NFC that right now want to see us? You know what, Brad Graham? I think we should simplify it a little bit more. Just a little bit.
Break it down.
Pete Carroll, Seattle Seahawks, 5 straight. You are not those guys, pal. I don't care if Drew Lock, Geno Smith, Russell Wilson. They don't even got good quarterbacks. Rick Mirer. I don't care what quarterback played in that game. You are not like that. You know who's like that? And it's a fun time. It's a very fun time. Because the San Francisco 49ers are dominating. And I'm going to let you talk, Brad Graham. This is your show. I don't want to take it over.
No,
I haven't even looked at the comments yet. I'm sure they're going crazy. Like, yo, why'd you let this maniac on? But
no, they're vibing. We're all vibing. This is the energy that we need. This is Jason, we're number 1 seed right now.
Oh no, and not only we number 1 by a mile. Forget the records. Forget the records. Forget the records.
Nah, fraud confirmed.
There's 3 10-3 teams. There's 1 10-3 team that is real, and 2 are not like the other. And that's Dallas and Philadelphia, the NFC least, in my opinion, if I was asking.
Well, I mean, you remember Detroit. Detroit was ahead of the 49ers at one point, and we were talking about, all right, the Detroit Lions are looking pretty nice in the NFC. They don't look like they're ready for a deep playoff run. The Eagles, hey, we broke them. Did you see that one fan who took off his Vic jersey, threw on the CeeDee Lamb in the middle of the game?
Jersey. You know,
whether that was staged or not.
For the clout, right?
Yeah, whether that was staged or not, which was probably staged, it still kind of exemplifies, I feel like, the mood in Philly. I feel like Eagles fans and the tone around the Eagles is, what the hell happened? What happened to him? And have you noticed, Jason, the 49ers have a way of breaking teams' spirits when they beat you.
What was the record last year of teams that lost to the San Francisco 49ers? I think we need to pull that back up. I think it was
14 games or something like that. That 15. I
think it was Vish that actually threw it out there. Shout out to Vish, and I know that he's traveling and he's not out here streaming or whatever. He's a big homie, but he kind of put that out there too. We need to bring that back. And did the San Francisco 49ers break the Philadelphia Eagles?
Uh,
Did they break them?
I'm gonna say yes because that fits
Yes.
my narrative, Jason.
Oh God, I love fits my narrative. Talk that talk, Brad. Keep going. How about Mitch Wishnowsky? MVP
Bro,
of the game.
let Mitch cook, dude. Out here
Yo,
ad-libbing.
dude, no, seriously. No, like I'm looking at the comments. Seriously, dude. I know I make a lot of jokes, right? Like, but my God, man, that play was so instinctive, and that was just rugby. Like he was just like, I got it, and I know what I'm doing. And Ronnie Bell slipped. Ronnie Bell slipped. That's
He
it.
did
If
slip,
Ronnie Bell,
and it went
he
into a
slipped.
cut block and fell right over, and the dude fell right
That's
over.
it. That's it. No, no. Honestly, for me, don't blame Ronnie Bell. He slipped. That's an issue. But man, I'll take it. All the jokes, everything. God, Mitch Wishnowsky has been incredible this year, especially week 1 on the play that didn't even count. I thought he was going to do the same thing, but this is how you know we're vibing. We're talking about punters and plays that didn't actually happen. Like they didn't actually happen.
You want to know another thing? Since we're on the special teams, out of anything we could talk about, we're on the special teams.
Mhm.
No one has said a word about Jake Moody or their concerns for him. That like
No,
I don't find myself like holding my breath on PATs or just I feel like I forgot about that aspect of it. I'm just like, oh, he's fine. I think he's
well,
settled in. I think that's a
and
sign that Moody's settled, and
and
we'll see. But I feel like he's calmed down.
no, and I think the thing is like, PATs, he hasn't really had to hit field goals because guess what? The San Francisco 49ers don't kick field goals, they just score touchdowns.
We just score touchdowns, baby.
They score touchdowns. So if you miss a PAT, that's fine as 1 point. Like they're not asking you to do like anything at this point. But look, again, at the end of the day, you want success from everybody. But this is where the 49ers are right now. As a team. That we're like sitting here talking about special teams and joking around because the 49ers are the number 1 seed in the NFC. And there was a time where it looked like that was impossible. And it's just
Mm-hmm.
the ebbs and flows of a season are funny to me. 5 straight,
Mm-hmm.
the Niners can't be beat. Nobody beats them. 3
Mm-hmm.
straight losses. It's over. Brock's not good. Everything's done. And then that's it.
Put a
And then
fork in 'em.
now, right. And now the 49ers have won 5 straight again, and they're 10-3. And we're kind of sitting here looking back at those games like, man, we were 1 or 2 plays away. 1 or 2.
Yeah.
And you know what, Brad? We get a lot of flack for talking about, optimism around those games because we're homers and things like that. But all that stuff in that 3-game losing streak was correctable. And
Everything was correctable.
also Brad Graham, Deebo Samuel is the engine, is the fuel, is what everyone needs on this offense. Christian McCaffrey might be the better overall player, and I don't think that I would argue that. But this team goes as Deebo Samuel goes. And Deebo Samuel the last 3 weeks has, for lack of a better term, stood on business.
Dude, Deebo Samuel's like a nuclear reactor when it comes to powering this team. Like he is the nuclear reactor at the core of this offense, providing energy and power to everything else. It's insane. Like you called it. I think ahead of the I think it was ahead of the Eagles game, right? We kind of got in that little debate.
Oh no, I said Deebo's gonna cook. This is it.
You said Deebo. I was like, oh, I'm kind of leaning Ayuk, dude. When Deebo is like you so eloquently stated, standing on business, it's just a different team. Because when you can channel 2021 backpack Deebo, who carried that offense, and you put him into this offense with these weapons and this quarterback, and Jason, I would even go a step further. I feel like Deebo's energy is even more intense these last 2 weeks than it even was in 2021. Like it feels like it's personal. Like I think Deebo was vibing in 2021. Like he was balling. He knew it. Contract year, all that good stuff. He got paid. He's got the check. He's got the sponsorships. He's got the clout. What else does he need? He needs a ring. And it feels like the motivational factor behind Deebo is at a different level. It's personal with Deebo. And when it's personal with Deebo, dude is unstoppable. Absolutely unstoppable.
And this offense, this team embodies his confidence, his physicality, his swagger, right? Like think about what we were thinking about those last 3 weeks that they weren't winning games, right? Let's take it there. There was something missing, right, Brad Graham? Something was off. Something was just a little bit off.
Mhm.
You know what that was? It was Deebo.
Energy.
It was Deebo, like, being able to, like, you know, like, everybody looks at those boombox videos of him coming out and they just think that it's all like, no, you know what? It's more than that. When he's there, Kyle Shanahan calls games differently. He hands the football off to Deebo to set the tone. This is how you get the ball to him and set the tone. In 2021, and the only other season I could think of, and you know what, Brad Graham, I'm old, but I'm not that old, that I could think of any 49ers player ever putting the entire team in his backpack is Jerry Rice scoring 22 touchdowns in 12 games in a straight shortened season, which will forever be the season that I will point to. I don't care what Randy Moss did in 16 games. It took him 16 games to do what Jerry Rice did in 12. So miss me with that record. But this team embodies Deebo Samuel in every way. The walk, the talk, everything. The boombox, the physicality, everything. They go as Deebo goes. And for everybody who's like, well, you pay too much for this and that. No. What you're paying for is the tone setter, and what you are paying for is what everyone goes and they follow. That's why he's the captain. Deebo Samuel is the engine of this offense, is the lifeline, is the heartbeat of this offense, is the heartbeat. And I don't think anybody can ever say anything about that. D-Love, what team you like? Because the 49ers probably smoked them. We looking at comments and we vibing. D-Love, who you like? Who you like? Who you like? What team? Philly? Dallas? Seattle? Who you like? Green Bay?
State your allegiance. State your allegiance.
State your allegiance.
For it.
Them boys. You gotta be fucking kidding me! I'm sorry. I'm acting up now. No. I know you ain't serious. You came here and stood on business and said that you're a Cowboys fan when the San Francisco 49ers put 42 on your head and literally own you. Ain't no
the truce
way,
is over. It's over with.
Ain't no way, D-Love. Ain't no way that you think that Dak Prescott is going to beat the San Francisco 49ers if he meets them again, and you might lose to the Green Bay Packers in the first round if you keep messing around and talking crazy like we don't we don't know your record. Ain't no way that you sitting on here and you came in here and you literally with your whole chest said
he wants to
you're a Cowboys fan and actually came on here to stand 10 toes. You know what, Brad? I'm sorry. Don't let me talk, man. I'm just gonna curse.
No,
Please,
Cowboys fans are feeling themselves, but hey, so are we. That's the thing. So are
we. We beat them too. We beat them worse.
We can pull receipts. They know. They're confident right now, but they're not confident when it comes to playing the San Francisco 49ers. RG says, can Seattle pull the upset next week? Who are they playing next week? I don't even know.
Dallas.
Oh,
we big Seattle fans next week, baby. Gino's coming back to cook y'all. DK mad because he got kicked out.
Dallas on the road
in Seattle.
In Seattle.
Ooh. So come on. We big Seattle. So our look, the way that I'll rationalize it is this: we're not rooting for Seattle. We praying on Dallas's downfall. Because it don't matter. The 49ers got the NFC West. Like, we're not rooting for Seattle. This is a perfect.
We're in the driver's seat. That's
all right. Hold on. Seattle plays the Eagles. I apologize. You guys got me. Seattle plays the Eagles.
Seattle plays
the Eagles. Yes.
Okay.
Sorry. You guys got me. Let me slow down. And I love that the chat was like, yo, slow down. Like, thank you. I appreciate that.
Hey, Ponte's feeling himself.
They're like, hey, chill out. Like, hey, chill out. Yeah, chill out. D-Love, you about to get fried, bro. You haven't beat the 49ers since Troy Aikman was the quarterback. Like I like nobody cares like about what you think about what's gonna happen, man. And you know what's the best part is if there ever is a chance that the Cowboys are gonna play the 49ers again, D Love's not gonna show up again. Just like all the Eagles fans, none of them ever showed up. I'm just tired of this and then not showing up. Cause you know what I do? I'm gonna talk and I'm gonna be obnoxious and I'm gonna be crazy, but I gotta talk after. I love the fact that you guys actually believe after you beat a team that the 49ers dog walked in their stadium and you lost to in Philly. By the way, Dallas fans, you lost to them in Philadelphia. The San Francisco 49ers did not. By the way, but yet now, because you beat a team that's not that good, now you are legit. Now you're legit. Beat the San Francisco 49ers before you can talk crazy about the San Francisco 49ers, because we talk crazy about the Dallas Cowboys because you ain't like that. And Dak ain't like that. And neither is Mike McCarthy, neither is CeeDee Lamb, neither is Micah Parsons. The bullies get bullied. Y'all get bullied every time you see the 49ers. Yeah, Brad, you got it, man. You got it.
Hey, remember, Micah could play quarterback just as good as Brock Purdy, according to what he said on his podcast. So we'll see. We'll see if they can stand on business. 49er Ways, appreciate the super chat. Says Puro Pinche Niners. Did I say that right?
Yep.
I'm with.
Yep.
Atinagon.
I'm in Arlington. Brad's take on the dub. Bang bang. I think that's what he's saying.
Okay. Well, appreciate the super chat. We got a couple more. Sugar Shane says we need to win out, as the bye would be huge for the vets. The bye is crucial. Let me ask you this question, Jason Aponte.
Yep.
What is more important, bye week or home field advantage?
Home field advantage. I mean both, but both. Right? Like the home field advantage comes with the bye. So like both. So that bye comes with the home field advantage. And
I did
Brad's
it, Mom.
invited to the Guardian Asada for that.
I did it, Mom.
Go, Danny. It goes hand in hand. It goes hand in hand, right? Like you get the week off, and I don't want to hear about momentum and that and this and this. Listen, the San Francisco 49ers, they asked the question about to Kyle Shanahan, what about a letdown? And he said, all I talked about this entire week was about a letdown. Nobody on this team is ready to have a letdown because they all understand what's in front of them.
They already had the letdown. I said we talked about that. I was like, dude, they already had the letdown for a month, 4 weeks of a letdown. I don't think that will ever creep in. So if they get another bye, I'm not worried about it at all. I think the bye can only help them. I think that month of losing after going undefeated since the previous season, not including the NFC Championship game, bro, nope, it ain't you're not going to catch the 49ers sleeping. I just don't see that happening.
Brad, remember when we were talking about, the number one seed, and I was like, oh, damn. I was like, Detroit's got, a really easy schedule. I still felt that Philadelphia. Look at Detroit. Look at Philadelphia now. And look how quickly that changes, 2-3 weeks. And there's no win.
Week-to-week league, man. It changes quickly.
There's no week that the Dallas Cowboys beat anyone that'll ever change my mind until they do it when it matters. And again, for D-Love, the last team to beat the Dallas Cowboys in AT&T Stadium was Jimmy Garoppolo and the San Francisco 49ers on their way to an NFC Championship game. Why would you want to invite that problem? And you know what else, Dallas Cowboys? You're not going to get to invite the 49ers back. You have to go to Levi Stadium. It's insane to me to watch Dallas Cowboys fans who have followed this team for decades, right? To sit there and now after one win against a team that the San Francisco 49ers absolutely obliterated, that the Kansas City Chiefs should have beat if Marquez Valdes-Scantling catches a pass, that the Buffalo Bills should have beat if they learned how to play football, now all of a sudden act like they are invincible. We've seen this story. I've seen Scarface 300 times.
That ending never changes, does it?
You know what happens at the end of Scarface? He dies.
He dies.
You know what happens when the Dallas Cowboys get to a meaningful game? They don't win. I'm not going to sit here and entertain a movie that I've seen 300 times. I will watch it to be entertained. I will watch it because it's funny. I will watch it because there's good acting. But I don't watch Scarface and at the end expect Tony Montana to find his way out of that mansion. I know how this ends, and everyone else knows how it ends. Spoiler alert! Tony Montana dies at the end of Scarface. Sorry, guys. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. The Dallas Cowboys lose when they get to their most important game.
Sugar Shane says all teams lost after SF last year. That's very true. We talked about that a little bit earlier. We got a question for you, Jason. Ryan Reed says, Jason, what do you have to say to all the Purdy haters? Right, meow.
You know, it's the hard part for me to like talk about Purdy, because obviously I had my initial thoughts of him like in training camp. So like people are just like, oh, you just can't like run out here and just like be supportive. But I want to say this. Brock Purdy is now somehow second in the NFL in passing yards with 82 less attempts than CJ Stroud, who leads the league in passing yards.
He's number 2 right now?
Number 2. 82
with his
less
performance today, with how many yards he threw up?
82 less attempts than CJ Stroud. And CJ Stroud unfortunately left the game today with an injury against the Jets. 82 less attempts. He is 100 and something yards less. Brock Purdy's yards per attempt today against the Seattle Seahawks, 13.9 yards per attempt.
13.9? Isn't he like at 9.1 for
no today?
Around that.
Today's
No, I know, but for the season, he's around like 9.
Today's game. Well, he still leads the league in yards per attempt. I'm sorry, I misspoke. 13.6 yards per attempt today, right?
Today.
I sent out a tweet today, and I want to ask you this, Brad Graham, because you're much more level-headed than I am, and I'm just going to keep yelling. Kurt Warner had Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt, and Marshall Faulk when he played. Peyton Manning had Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne, and Marshall Faulk when he played, and Edgerrin James at times, right?
Brandon Stokely at tight end.
I just don't understand why the weapons argument isn't used in the same fashion. And I think regardless of where you land on this discussion, whether you feel like, one's better than the other, okay. But no one gave Kurt Warner the MVP when they were the greatest show on turf and said, well, he had Torrey Holt and Isaac Bruce and Marshall Faulk.
And the offensive genius of his head coach.
It's just, it's very strange to me how the weapons argument, and look, all right, so look, let me take it one step further, right? We just watched the Kansas City Chiefs lose, and we just watched Patrick Mahomes cry at a press conference, and
did he cry in the press conference?
At the press conference, he yelled,
like hyperbole, was just
it's hyperbole.
whining.
He didn't cry. He didn't cry.
He was whining about it. I saw the post game thing with him and Josh Allen, where it's like, oh, there's bullshit. Like, whoa.
Okay. Yep. So all the talk about Patrick Mahomes, who is at a career low in everything that he's done this season in terms of yards, in terms of yards per attempt, now that argument is based on his weapons. Do you see how funny that is to me, Brad Graham? You see how funny that is to me? Now Patrick Mahomes, who is the best in the world, needs nothing, now needs somebody. Oh, now you need receivers. Oh, now you're Patrick Mahomes and you could throw the football to Marquez Valdez-Scantling and he drops the football. And now Patrick Mahomes needs receivers. Isn't that funny how this works, Brad Graham? That quarterbacks need guys to catch the football and make plays after the catch. And yet, now, Patrick Mahomes is crying at press conferences, crying at Josh Allen, having to be restrained from yelling at officials. Now it's, well, Patrick Mahomes hasn't been as successful as you thought because he needs receivers. Isn't that funny? You know what? Let me take it one step further. Tyreek Hill leaves. Tyreek Hill leaves, and now Patrick Mahomes is in trouble. Well, Tua Tagovailoa, who everybody thought might not be able to throw the football down the field. Now look at Tua. Now look at Tua now that he can throw the football to guys who actually. It's insane to me to understand the logical fallacy that there is about quarterbacks who need weapons. And when quarterbacks have weapons, it's just like, oh, let it go. But now Patrick Mahomes doesn't have weapons, and poor Patrick. I thought Taylor Swift was going to pick up the slack. Poor Patrick.
They should see now Tua any wide receiver, maybe.
And now Tua, who couldn't throw the football down the field, now Tua's great. Funny how that works, Brad Graham. I'm gonna let you talk because I've just been being obnoxious.
Dude, watching Brock today, especially in person, I don't. He's getting better as the season progresses. I don't know if anyone else is kind of paying attention or keeping track at home, but he is throwing and pushing the ball downfield even more throughout these last couple weeks, opposed to in the season. Remember that week 2 game against the Rams? He had the overthrow against Deebo, overthrow on Ayuk, hit Jennings a little high. Everyone started freaking out, right? Because of the training camp narrative, right? Like, oh, see? He can't throw it deep. It was like, no, he can throw it. He's just trying to figure out the timing of it. Now look at what he's doing. Now, like plays against that Deebo Samuel scoring on. Deebo Samuel's the last read in the progression, but we have a quarterback now who's so smart at processing pre-snap that he can take a play that is part of a system and re-engineer the system to work and expose defenses. He said Brock Purdy said Juwan Jennings was the number 1 read. And he said I think Deebo said he was the last read. But because Brock Purdy saw Jamal Adams come down into the box, he knew he had a shot over the top with no safety help. So what he did is, instead of going to read 1 based on the system, he re-engineered the system and found Deebo Samuel on a deep shot where he drops it right in the bucket, touchdown, for one of his deeper throws on the year. Absolutely perfect timing. Like, that is what you say to Brock Purdy haters who call him a system quarterback, who call him everything's yak. Like, just there's another example. You can't be a system quarterback and extend plays outside the system. That is a oxymoron. You can't be a confined system guy who breaks the structure of the system and in fact takes the system to new heights. That's why these people who still, I don't know if they're still out there, honestly, because if they are out there, they are wearing a mask and they're just hoping and praying that Purdy fails so that when he does, they go, ha ha, told you. But until now, there's nothing you can say against Brock Purdy and what he is doing. It doesn't matter about weapons, doesn't matter about scheme, doesn't matter about this. He is elevating all pro players around him. He is elevating the best scheme in the NFL. I don't want to hear it. Go Argue with a freaking wall
if
you think Brock Purdy ain't him.
Oh yeah. I also want to say, since we're having fun, Jamal Adams, yikes! What happened? Deebo Samuel fried you
He's about
on
to
that
post
throw.
a pic of Brock Purdy's
He's about to
girl.
post a pic of Averly and be like, "Yo, she's not mad tall, and she's a 6-year-old." Because I've been on him. I've been on him since. But regardless of that, I think again, like the overall point is this: when Josh Allen struggles, you say it's the run game. You say that, oh, they don't have anybody who could run the football, or they don't have a second receiver, right? Because it's just Stephon Diggs and nobody else, and Gabe Davis isn't consistent enough. When it's Tua and he doesn't have Tyreek Hill, well, he doesn't have a good arm. And now Tua is one of the most efficient quarterbacks. When it's this guy, when it's that guy, it's always their weapons. It's always their weapons, whether you want to detract or you want to like talk good about them. For me, looking at what Brock Purdy has done, there have been quarterbacks that have had every single weapon, and not for long. Obviously, Christian McCaffrey came at the end of a certain time. There are quarterbacks who have had those same weapons that have not been able to elevate the offense to this way. It is literally as easy as this. Quarterbacks need guys who catch the football and run with it or make plays for them. It is that easy. It's really that easy, right? Let me ask you this. Let's take it another step further, Brad. Lamar Jackson. When Lamar Jackson struggles, oh my God, Lamar Jackson needs weapons. You got to get him receivers. Lamar Jackson's great. Lamar Jackson's great. And he still don't got receivers, right? Like Zay Flowers dropped a pass today. Rashad Bateman dropped a pass today.
Oh,
But
Delhi?
it's always, yeah. But when it's guys that struggle, it's always, oh my God, he needs this, he needs that. But when Brock has it, and you run into like Thanos with all the Infinity Stones. Deebo, Kittle, CMC, Ayuk, and then Kyle's holding the Infinity Gauntlet now, and Purdy is the one who's like the last stone who can actually like make it happen. That's when you snap half the Avengers away, but the Avengers don't get the fight back after that.
It's really simple, honestly. I know you. I think the question is, what do you say to Brock Purdy haters? And we're kind of going back and forth about it. It really comes down to this: like, if you are objectively of the belief that Brock Purdy is not a good quarterback, or he's just a good, like, again, and we're not having this elite conversation. I don't know why people are so focused on having that. But again, we're just trying to give the proper flowers to Brock Purdy. And if people are relying on takes such as it's the weapons, it's the system, it's he hasn't played from behind, it's much easier to say, Jason, you just don't know ball. That is really what it comes down to, because it's very easy. People tell you without telling you what they know, right? And so when you hear people who say those things, what they're actually saying to you is, I don't know ball. I'm not fluid enough to be able to identify and understand ball to be able to have a changing or fluid opinion of it. And so I'm going to stay rigid in my beliefs, and I'm just going to keep saying the same thing and keep moving the goalpost to the next thing. That's why his haters' number one argument is a hypothetical, because they don't have anything. And they just are so focused on our favorite. What is it? Being right, not getting it right, Jason. And that's what it is. That's really what it is. It's fine, man. It's fine. Like, we don't hit on everything. Guys prove me right, guys prove me wrong all the time. Like, and I like when guys prove me wrong, because to me, that tells me I missed something. I missed something in that eval that I got to go back and double check. What was it that I missed? Mm-hmm. Oh, is it this intangible? Is it this trait? Is it this? Is it that? With Brock, he's a stone cold killer who looks like he will sell you insurance Monday through Friday. That's why people doubt Brock Purdy, because dude, you see his fit today? He
Yeah.
looked like something my grandpa would roll out to, Sunday dinner wearing or something, like, you know what I
It looked
mean? Like,
clean. It looked clean.
that wasn't clean, but it was just, the plaid shirt, the little jacket over it, like.
But Brett, it's always going to boil down to this. It is much easier to bet against the last pick in the draft than it is someone who is taken high on. And the example that I'll continue to give is there's someone out there right now, and there are people out there right now that believe, especially after the way Zach Wilson played today. Zach Wilson just needs the right coordinator. Oh, let's just get him in the right system. Well, Mac Jones is in the wrong system. We'll give him another shot. Hey, Justin Fields played well today. Let's make sure that we get him in there. It's always easier to give first-round guys time and then bet against the guy who is the last pick, right? Mm-hmm. And I'll take it one step further. It's even happening with the guy that's sitting right behind Brock Purdy right now. Sam Darnold has put more trash football on tape than I've probably ever seen from anyone. And yet, Sam Darnold still has people that believe, well, if you gave Sam a shot with these weapons and this offense, you are who you are when people are trying to show you who they are. They're trying to show you who they are. But it's much harder to give praise to someone who is doing something you've never seen as the last pick in the draft than it is to sit there and actually say, Zach Wilson stinks. Justin Fields might need to change the scenery. Mac Jones is garbage. Maybe Trevor Lawrence isn't the guy that we thought he was, and he might just be a solid quarterback as opposed to the coming of the next one. This is the part that I feel is the hardest part with the quarterback evaluation, and it goes exactly back to what you said. People want to be right and not get it right. Getting it right requires humbleness. Getting it right requires saying, I got this wrong. Getting it right requires your evaluation process changing despite draft capital.
Yep.
Being right requires you to find a way to spin the narrative and find a way to, like, we love Justin Fields. Justin Fields hooped today. Does that mean that Justin Fields is the guy that we thought he was going to be? I don't think so. But he played well today. Mm-hmm. He played well today. What is he going to be? Completely two different things. It's hard for people in any walk of life, whether it's football, whether it's regular things, to admit, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. And that's it. All you have to say is, I'm wrong. I learned this. I see this. I have been presented with new information. But it's hard for people to do that in all walks of life, let alone football evaluations. Brad, it's almost 1 o'clock, man. I came on here because I wanted to talk crazy. I thought we were just going on IG, but like, I got it, man. Like, do we have any other super chats that we can get to real quick? Because I got.
You want to run through the super chats? So you got a couple on your end too.
Let's
get through these, and we'll get East Coast Aponte out of here. Jake says, assuming the NFC clinch, who do we want in the Super Bowl? Miami?
Jake, I don't care. And if you want Miami because you want to get Tyreek Hill back, I understand that. I don't care. Miami still is not going to be able to beat the San Francisco 49ers because their defense can't stop them. Kansas City, if they find a way to make it, I don't care because they don't have the weapons to get it done. I don't know, aside from those two, Baltimore might be the team that is the scariest because of the fact that Lamar Jackson just makes, things happen. And Lamar Jackson might be the guy that keeps people awake the most when you're a defensive coordinator and you're looking at like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do? So maybe Baltimore, perhaps Baltimore. But
you think the Bills could get hot at the right time?
Nope. The Bills have to win tons of games now. Not just they didn't just win this game and just jump back in it. They were that far back there. They've got to win tons of games in it. Yeah, they got a little bit to go before they get into that. For me, Baltimore scares me the most. Baltimore scares me the most only because of Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson causes such a problem on defense, makes you not understand what you're supposed to do, and just does things that are out of structure. But I'll stand on business, man. I don't care. I don't care who comes out of the AFC. Whoever, the 49ers, and they clear the NFC, whoever comes out of the AFC, I don't care. You're not going to beat them. And if you get there and you face the 49ers, you had a great season. I think you're going to like make a DVD about it. You'll have your little, but you're not going to beat the San Francisco 49ers. You're not going to beat the San Francisco 49ers. So for me, and this might just be, the sauce talking December 11th, whatever it is on my side, because it's still December 10th on your side. I don't care. I don't care who comes out of the AFC because they can't beat the 49ers when the 49ers are healthy and playing this way. No one can. No one can.
I'm not going to lie. I'm in the same boat. I feel so confident with the way the San Francisco 49ers are playing that it's the other team who's got to determine who they want to play potentially in the Super Bowl. I think the 49ers, obviously, Brock Purdy beat the Miami Dolphins last year in his first game. So, the Miami Dolphins are playing well. But, the AFC isn't who we thought they were. We thought they were going to be the dominant conference. Doesn't really feel like that. Feels like there's a lot of middling AFC teams. There's a lot of like kind of 500-esque type teams. Like they're just not playing well.
But Brad, don't jinx it because we said that we're confident the 49ers could win. That would be
they're just acknowledging our power that we have when we step on the microphone. So we
if I had that power, I would literally use it to make the 49ers win. I just love that so much. Like I love the idea of like, hey, you said something and now the 49ers are going to lose. So tell me what to say to make them win.
I get it all the time. I post on Instagram. I'll post some random ass caption. Bro, you jinxed it. I was like,
you jinxed it. I jinxed like, what? The game's going to be
the power that
By the way, since we're talking, Rocky Balboa still has lost 23 fights, is not a real fighter, and Philadelphia erected a statue of him. And he's a fictional character. Don't touch Rocky. But you know what, Dallas Cowboys fans, you don't got to worry about that because you didn't have to touch Rocky. Rocky's not real.
Dude, the Rocky stats probably got to be one of the most underrated stats that we've ever pulled on.
23 losses. Let me look. All right, look. If I wrote a movie about a boxer, right? If I wrote a movie about a boxer, I wouldn't have him lose 23 fights before he lost, or 22 before he lost his 23rd against Apollo Creed. Are you dumb?
The movie's not an underdog, Jason. It's about the story of resiliency, coming back and fighting.
Sylvester Stallone is real. Rocky Balboa is not.
They're down and out, and then they fight their way back, except against the 49ers and except against the Dallas Cowboys.
Sylvester Stallone is real. Rocky is not. I'm tired of this, man. Please, I'm gonna still keep cooking Rocky because he's not real. Joe Frazier beat Muhammad Ali in a real fight and they didn't put a statue up for him. He beat one of the best in the world.
This is literally the only place that you will come to get Rocky Balboa stats to supplement
23 fights he lost. All right, let's allow him to fight anymore. They wouldn't even give him the. They wouldn't even give him the. They wouldn't even give him like the license in certain states to fight because they would be like, "You stink. We don't want you to
fight." Jesus says, "Brad, is that the new Slimebo hat? I just ordered mine. Jason, need you to put me on game with the hats." Oh. Yes, this is the Slimebo. I think. Well, yeah, I got the 19 Slimebo on the side.
I'm the only person without a residency hat. Like I watched Kyle's interview with Greg Papa and he wore this khaki one and it was so dope and I was like, damn, everybody but me got one. Even Kyle is like getting them.
Greg Papa rocking residency now.
Greg Papa is rocking them. Everybody but me got one. I guess because I'm from the East Coast. But this one, and they didn't cut the check, so like whatever. But you should go to Culture Kings. They're an Australian company that you can like get it from, and they have a bunch of 49er stuff. I think they have this one. I think you saw Locksmith. He was making a video and he wore the corduroy one that was red. So yeah, Culture Kings is where I got this one. I got another one that's the South Beach colors, but Culture Kings is always hooking it up. So go there and tell them to cut the check, man, because I'm promoting it for no reason.
Roberto Davis says Deebo going home again with a fistful of chains.
Standing on business.
Snatching them.
Standing on
Just snatching 'em.
business. Standing on
He's
business.
balling, man. He's
Balling.
really balling.
This
It's
is
crazy.
this is as fun as 2021 right now. I literally posted his stats from earlier today for the last 3 games. And it's just it's like you watched it and you saw what happened, but you do have to also acknowledge what it is. And give me a second because I've been going crazy today on Twitter. Yelling at people, or yelling at Big Dom, who's like in his hotel room punching walls or whatever, or in his crib, punching holes in his wall. Let's see. Okay, so Deebo Samuel's last 3 games: 18 receptions, 344 receiving yards, 8 rushes, 38 rushing yards, 6 total touchdowns. Deebo Samuel standing on business.
Balling. Our last one, and then I think we're both going to get out of here. Brian says, "Here's a question: Who throws a better ball, Montana or Purdy?" Jeez, I'm going to just say this, and this is going to be my cop out. I've studied every single throw of Brock Purdy as a 49er.
Yep.
I have not studied every single throw of Joe Montana as a 49er. So
Brad,
I can't answer that.
Brad, that's boring.
Brad, I'm sorry. Boring. It's the truth. I don't.
No, hold on. But the people want hot takes. They want say this, say that right now.
All right.
Okay?
You want me to reset it so they can clip it? Brock Purdy throws a better ball than Joe Montana. Best believe it.
Listen, is that better? Joe Montana turned the ball over 4 times before he made the elegant pass to Dwight Clark in that game. Could you imagine what they would have said about Brock Purdy?
Brock would have already been traded in that game.
Brock would have in a social media era, right? Montana turned the ball over that many times in that game before he threw the ball to Dwight Clark. And shout out to Guy Aberman. He's the one who actually pulled that up. And I had no idea. I had to double check and look. If Brock Purdy had thrown 3 interceptions, fumbled the football 1 time in an NFC Championship game, they would have had him tarred, feathered, and sent on to Alcatraz. On a boat and just sent to Alcatraz.
They would have gave him a pair of cement shoes. Like, it would have been real. It would have been like, all right, Purdy, it's nice knowing you.
Clearly, we're joking around, and I think that's what Brian is getting to here at this point. I think prisoner of the moment, what you've seen, what you haven't seen, that is a large part of how opinions are made. But I don't know, man. And Brian, you know this. Who cares? Honestly, again, I'm going to go back to the Brock Purdy thing about, the ranking. I don't care if you feel like this guy's better than him. I don't care if you feel like that guy's better than him. I don't care if you've got him ranked 20th. I don't care if you've got college quarterbacks ranked above him. Shout out to the Ringer and Steven Ruiz, who is, sitting there, right now, still pushing that narrative.
Still has Tom
Brady. As long as Brock Purdy plays this way, the San Francisco 49ers are incredibly hard to beat, and nobody can beat them. I don't care where you rank them. That's up to you. That is an arbitrary discussion. That is a waste of time. What I am here to talk about is the San Francisco 49ers are cooking everyone. They're better than everyone. I don't care where you rank Brock Purdy. That is up to you. That's your business. That's your decision. For me, I don't care. Win games. If he doesn't win MVP, win Super Bowl MVP, I do not care. I don't care. That's up for you to decide. So,
yeah, better ball to me is subjective, and I have the beholder kind of a thing. And like I said, I've only seen highlights of Montana. I've never actually, now I think about it, I don't think I've watched a full game of Joe Montana. I wasn't old enough.
Me either.
I've seen highlights.
You know what? I remember the game that he came back in and everyone was cheering and he had already left. I feel like the first 49ers game that I remember in my mind is Jerry Rice breaking the touchdown record on Monday night against the Oakland Raiders. And if I'm not mistaken, if it wasn't that game, it was another. Joe Montana joined that game at the end when it was over and kind of just jumped in and everyone was losing their mind. And I remember my father, who literally said, I don't want to root for this team at all if they get rid of Joe Montana for Steve Young. And then he had to like eat those words later on after Steve Young became highest passer rating, completion percentage, MVP guy. I think that's the first game that I actually remember in my mind that I can actually visually see. I remember Joe Montana getting hit against the Giants, but I didn't watch that game. I didn't watch that game. I'm not that old, but I remember I know the hit. I can see it right now in my mind. I can see the hit that literally put Joe Montana out from being the 49ers quarterback and then pushed us into the Steve Young era. But yeah, oh my God, Amin Morris, Oprah Winfrey is tougher than Wayne Brady. I don't know what that has to do with the price of tea in China, but that is a hilarious comment.
Fishboy Rice says Purdy's pocket presence is elite.
He's really good at that.
Yeah, I'd feel confident. Like if we want to start getting into individual traits, I would say that's one of his best traits is his ability to feel pressure, just feel his way around that pocket. That's such an underrated element of playing quarterback, man. When you have offensive linemen getting pushed into your lap, you're having to feel pressure from different places and be able to keep your eyes downfield while maneuvering that. Yeah, his pocket presence is special. I would say that the amount of times I've seen Brock Purdy sidestep just a half a step to avoid a sack or a strip sack. Insane. Absolutely insane. So I agree.
100%.
His pocket presence is phenomenal.
Your old Jason Stop It, Ariel said, I'm not old, I'm just wise.
And on that, Jason, the 49ers sit atop the NFC with the 1 seed. Undefeated out of the bye, 3-0 in the Bird Gauntlet. Arizona Cardinals coming up next. It's a good day. It's a good day, Jason.
Oh, it's a great day. It's a great day. The Dallas Cowboys beating the Philadelphia Eagles wasn't. I mean, and either way, if it was vice versa, it wouldn't change what I thought after the San Francisco 49ers beat the Philadelphia Eagles. Don't talk to me about no team, nobody. Don't talk to me about any of them. The San Francisco 49ers are the best in the world. And somebody's got to beat the 49ers before I believe that. And it just, unfortunately, me watching the Dallas Cowboys do something that they've never done, which is win a big game, even though they win at home all the time, except when the San Francisco 49ers pull up to AT&T Stadium, doesn't change my mind, and it wouldn't have changed my mind either way if the Philadelphia Eagles would beat the Dallas Cowboys, because I would have looked at both the same way I looked at them today at 1 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast. Both of them ain't like that.
1 o'clock.
They aren't real, and they frauds. So, Philadelphia, I don't know how it feels for you to lose to a fraud, because if I was a fan of my team, I wouldn't allow my team to be down 24-6.5. If I was a fan of my team, I wouldn't allow myself to lose to the Dallas Cowboys. If I was a fan of my team, I wouldn't allow how many points in the last 2 weeks to the Dallas Cowboys and San Francisco 49ers. If I was a fan of my team, look, for me, Brad, I just wouldn't put up with that disrespect. But that's just me. That's just me. I mean, I don't know. That's just me. I just wouldn't put up with that disrespect
all the time.
I would stand on business, and I wouldn't allow that to happen. Like, don't you have some respect? Like, don't let that happen to the team that you root for. I would never let that happen. So,
I love it, man. I'm glad you hopped on. Wasn't expecting it, but it was absolutely phenomenal. Anytime we can get Sauce DePonte on here, it is a phenomenal.
Who told you?
Who told you? Only you about 4 times. But Niner Grandpa at the end says, have you watched Niner Grandpa? No, we haven't.
I'm about to right now.
Low-key,
I mean, because
nice way to get your name out there.
Plug yourself. I was actually just going to run back the 49ers beating the Seattle Seahawks for the 5th straight time and putting Pete Carroll's team for the first time in a 4-game losing streak in hell. But hey, Niner Grandpa, send that. I'd love to watch that. What you got on there?
I don't know. We'll have to see. But shout out to everyone for hopping in and vibing with us. 49ers 1 seed. Beat the freaking Seahawks, man. And it's Cardinals next week.
straight.
Appreciate
5 straight.
everyone.
5 straight.
Make sure you sub
5
to
straight.
Jason's channel. Smash that like button. And we'll see you on State of the Franchise on Wednesday. Yes, sir. Appreciate all you guys. We're out of here. Have a great night. Peace. And just because we're going to do the State of the Franchise outro. Why
Oh,
not?
hell yeah.
That's Jason Aponte. I'm Brad Graham. We're going to get into it all right now.